Okay, let's unpack this. We spend so much of our lives inside this clockwork structure of the modern weekday.
Right.
But we rarely stop to really look at the specific rituals that make up those 16 or so hours we're awake.
Hmm.
So today, we're kind of tearing that open. We're doing a deep dive into one person's routine. Jesse, whose very detailed schedule is almost like a perfect template for modern working life.
It really is. And it might seem like just, basic facts, a timeline of a day, but Jesse's routine, when you look closely, it shows this fascinating uniformity in how we behave now. So
Right.
our mission really is to see how her choices, the exact times, the habits, how they reflect these bigger things like societal discipline, maybe even the sort of unspoken rules of the 21st century job market.
And the practical value here for you listening is huge. It lets us sort of pull out the common actions, the key verbs, the time
Yeah.
markers like 6 a.m., noon, 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
that really build the framework for so much of the information you encounter every day. Jesse gave us specifics. It's almost like a script.
It is. A script for the day. So let's start right at the beginning. The pre-work phase, say 6:00 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Go.
This first hour really sets the whole tone, doesn't it? Physically and maybe emotionally.
Right. The day kicks off sharply at 6 a.m., and Jesse actually says she doesn't like waking up early,
Ah.
which immediately makes it relatable. It tells us that 6:00 a.m. alarm isn't something she enjoys. It's driven by the job.
A necessity. Yeah, that pressure is something so many people feel, where your body clock just doesn't match what work demands.
Exactly. Then the first actions are very sequential. Get out of bed, bathroom, brush teeth, wash face.
Pretty standard stuff. But she gives this little insight. Washing her face isn't just about being clean.
Right. She says it helps her feel more awake.
Exactly. It's like a little behavioral trick, a signal to the brain. Okay, rest time is officially over.
Then, this is where things get interesting, the shift from just physical needs to, well, digital life. She goes to make coffee her favorite part, she says.
Can relate to that.
Yeah. But while the coffee's brewing, she's already checking the phone. Messages, emails, quick scan of social media.
And that's it. That's the modern anchor point we see so often.
Mm.
It just completely blurs the line between personal time and work time.
Mm.
Right before the workday even officially starts, you've got the caffeine, the physical kickstart.
Paired with the digital one, the information feed.
Precisely.
I do wonder, though, is checking emails at like 6:15 a.m. actually productive? Or is it just stress?
That's a really good question. Does it help organize, or does it just inject problems into that quiet morning time?
Right. Well, I think for many people, that early check isn't even about productivity. It's more about reducing anxiety.
Oh, okay. The fear of the unknown.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure there are no fires burning before you even get to the office.
Mhm.
It's about managing that mental noise, almost like an involuntary habit now
Yeah.
because we expect instant responses.
Got it. Okay, so after the digital check-in, it's back to physical prep. Getting dressed simple, comfy clothes, pants, and a shirt suggests a casual work environment, maybe? Probably, or at least flexible. Then a quick breakfast, coffee, toast with butter and jam, maybe some fruit. Very efficient.
No time wasted there.
No, the simplicity really highlights that kind of time pressure in the early morning. Every minute counts towards getting ready for work.
And then boom, transition straight to the commute.
Fueled and dressed, ready to go.
Exactly. 7 a.m., she's out the door. Jessie takes the bus, a 30-minute ride. And this is key, I think, because she uses that time.
Right. It's not dead time.
No, she listens to music or a podcast.
Which shows that modern thing of trying to, utilize every single moment. The commute becomes learning time or entertainment or just mental prep.
Downloading content while moving, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay, so she gets to the office around 7:30 a.m. Work officially starts at 7:45. And the first tasks are, well, they sound familiar. Check emails again, organize tasks.
The settling in ritual.
Yeah. And then it's the main event. Many hours of computer work in an office. That just screams modern economy, doesn't it? The screen time, the sedentary nature.
We really can't overstate how much that dominates. It shapes everything else, especially why that evening relaxation becomes so important. It's constant mental work.
Let's talk about the break. Lunch. It's rigid. Exactly at 12:00 p.m. noon.
12 sharp.
And the choice is deliberate. Bringing lunch from home. Sandwich or salad.
Yeah, and she mentions why. Save money and eat healthy.
Practical.
Very Allie. But it also hints at maybe a workplace culture where bringing lunch is common. Not everyone dashing out for expensive takeaways. It keeps the lunch break efficient or refuel stop.
But what's really interesting is the social part. She eats with coworkers, they talk, they laugh.
Ah, that's crucial.
It's not just about food, is it? It's a mental break. A social decompression in that potentially high-stress, low-movement office setting.
Absolutely. That social connection is just as vital as the food itself. It's that moment of kind of low-stakes chat before diving back in.
Okay, so the afternoon is more work, tasks, maybe some meetings,
Yeah.
and the workday ends at 4:30 p.m.
4:30. That feels a bit earlier than the standard 5:0 or 5:30 we often hear about.
Yeah, I thought that too. Does that mean maybe a less demanding job? Or is it because she starts effectively at 7:45, maybe even earlier mentally? She shifts her whole clock.
That's a sharp point, given she's up at 6 a.m.
Right.
A 4.3 finish kind of makes sense. It's still roughly an 8-hour day with lunch. But finishing then, it gives her back a decent chunk of her evening.
That makes sense. It directly impacts the wind down part.
Totally. Which brings us to the evening. Let's follow her home. Takes the bus again. Home around 5:00 p.m. And the first thing she needs.
Relaxation. Crucial relaxation.
Yep. She sits on the sofa, watches TV, reads a book. She specifically says she needs to relax for a bit and disconnect from work.
That intentional boundary. It shows how much mental energy the workday took. It's like a buffer zone, right?
Yeah.
Shifting gears from employee back to just her.
Exactly. A mental transition space. Then, around 6:30 p.m., she starts making dinner. And this isn't just a chore for her.
No, she says she likes to cook, tries new recipes sometimes.
So it becomes a hobby, a creative thing. Restorative, maybe, after all that computer work.
Yeah, turning a necessity into something enjoyable.
But even enjoyable things have their downsides.
Ah, yes. The not-so-fun part. Washing the dishes right after dinner.
Practical, though. Get it done. Reset the kitchen so it doesn't hang over the rest of the evening.
Good point. Keeps the relaxation time clear. The rest of the evening seems focused on connection. Time with family, watching a movie, just talking.
Yeah, and sometimes exercise, like going for a walk, seems like low-key, sustainable stuff.
Nothing too strenuous after a long day.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final wind down. Preparing for sleep.
The pre-sleep rituals, taking a shower, then reading a book. She calls reading a wonderful habit for relaxing.
Screen-free time before bed, that's key.
Essential. And the goal is bed around 10:30 p.m., aiming for that solid 7 or 8 hours of sleep.
Okay, so we've got this incredibly detailed hour-by-hour map of Jessie's day. Now, the big question, how much of this is just Jessie and how much is, well, everyone? When we look at the other routines in our sources.
The similarity in the core structure is, honestly, striking. There's huge consistency in the sort of behavioral demands of the day. Let's break down the shared bits first.
Okay, the similarities.
That first thing in the morning, coffee needed, immediately check the phone. That seems almost universal now.
Yeah, that's step one in the modern playbook, it feels like.
And the work itself, dominance of computer work, office setting, very common. And bringing lunch from home, practical, healthy, saves money. We see that everywhere.
That post-work decompression, too. That need for a buffer zone after clocking out. That seems non-negotiable across the board.
Absolutely. And the sleep targets are similar, too. Bedtime around 10:30, 11:00 p.m. Everyone's chasing those 7-8 hours to keep the whole cycle going.
Even the evening habits, cooking, reading, a bit of TV or a walk, seem pretty standard.
Yeah, the basic shape is very consistent.
Okay, so the core sequence is rigid. The main verbs are the same. Wake, commute, work, eat, relax, sleep. Where do we see the variations? The personal choices.
The wiggle room is mostly in the details, like wake-up time. Jessie's 6:20 a.m. is early, while others mention more like 7 a.m., still early, but that hour makes a difference.
Right, and the commute.
Big difference there. Jessie's on the bus for 30 minutes. The others we saw were driving maybe 15 or 25 minutes. That changes how you use that travel time, or if you can use it productively at all.
True. Breakfast varies slightly too, but always simple and fast. Toast, yogurt, cereal, eggs maybe. Speed is always the priority.
Always. And then just minor shifts in timing. Jessie's strict 12:00 p.m. lunch versus someone else taking it at 00, her 4:30 p.m. finish versus maybe 5:0 or 5:3 to elsewhere.
Small adjustments within the same tight framework.
Exactly. What it confirms is that the basic structure, wake, commute, work, lunch, decompress, sleep, is pretty much locked in by modern life. The choices are mostly around the edges, how you commute, exactly when you start or stop, what quick food you grab.
So what this template really gives us then is this incredibly clear picture of the behavioral demands of just being a working professional today.
Right.
It lays out the template, the key verbs, the time expressions, 6 a.m., noon, 4:3 a.m., 10:30 p.m. that structure so much of our society.
It really functions like a universal operating manual for the day. These core actions, waking up, grabbing coffee, checking the screen, working at a computer, eating lunch, making time to wind down without screens,
Right.
that rhythm defines our collective daily life now.
So if almost every modern weekday follows this same basic script from the alarm and the phone check right through to closing a book before bed, it makes you think. What parts of your own routine, listening right now, are genuinely your unique choices? And how much is just, well, necessary steps in the shared 21st century dance that the economy kind of forces us all to do?